The shadow of Lake Silence. Imagine a place where trees whisper dark secrets to each other, and a lake reflects the sky so deeply that it feels like a portal to another world. A small, forgotten village lay at the edge of a forest the locals called Silence. They said that deep inside it, no birds sang, no wind blew, and even footsteps made no sound. Silence didn't speak. It simply waited. There lived a young man named Marco, drawn to the forest since childhood. By day he worked at the sawmill, and in the evenings he walked to the lake. He sat by the water, stared at its glassy surface, and felt something watching him from the depths. One evening, beneath a full moon, he decided to visit the lake late at night. The path he had walked 1,000 times suddenly felt longer. The trees seemed thicker. The air felt heavier. When he reached the lake, he froze. Strange footprints marked the soft ground, bare feet leading straight into the water. At first, he thought someone had been swimming, but when he leaned closer, he noticed something unsettling. The footprints had a faint, bluish glow, as if whoever left them carried light beneath the skin. The moon touched the water and the lake rippled. A cold shiver spread down Marco's spine. He crouched by the shore, listening. Then he heard it. A whisper, faint at first, then clear, drifting from beneath the surface. "Marco." He looked around, but no one was there. He felt frozen in place, unable to move, unable to breathe. The lake seemed to draw him forward. Small waves rolled across the surface, as though the water itself was breathing. Thunder crashed overhead. Marco flinched, and in that moment he saw a face in the water. Not his reflection. A child's face. A girl, no older than 8. Her eyes were open, staring at him from beneath the surface. Her body lay still, suspended in the water as if held by invisible hands. Marco couldn't move. The girl's hand pressed against the water from the inside. A sudden wave surged outward, striking him in the chest. He stumbled backward, gasping for air. The next morning, pale and shaken, he returned home. His grandmother noticed immediately. "You saw her, didn't you?" she asked. "Saw who?" Marco replied. "The one who calls." And she told him the legend. Long ago, deep within the forest, there was a settlement. The people discovered a lake they believed granted wishes, but only in exchange for a life. They wished for wealth, health, and power. The lake delivered, but it took what it wanted: their children, the young, the strong. Eventually the settlement vanished, swallowed by the forest, leaving only whispers behind. From time to time, the lake called to someone new. Marco realized the girl he saw was the last soul the lake had taken. And he felt something strange, not fear, but responsibility. That night, he returned to the forest. Moonlight spilled across the path. The woods seemed alive. He heard footsteps behind him, though the forest was empty. Shadows shifted between the trees. When he reached the lake, she was there, standing on the surface of the water, as if it were solid beneath her feet. The girl raised her hand. "You came back," she whispered. The lake rippled. More faces appeared beneath the surface. Dozens of children, still and silent, their bodies floating motionless in the depths. "We can't leave," the girl said. "The light holds us." "What light?" Marco asked. "The one below." He stepped into the water. Cold wrapped around him, yet it pulled him forward like warmth. He took another step, and another. Soon the lake swallowed him whole. He dove beneath the surface. Downward he swam, deeper and deeper, until time and space felt distant and unreal. At the bottom, something glowed. It was a piece of an old wooden statue, shaped like a human figure. Its arms opened wide, reaching outward as if embracing those who drowned. Marco touched it. Light exploded across the water. Images flashed around him. People begging the lake for miracles. Children disappearing beneath the surface. Centuries of fear and sacrifice. The statue cracked, splintering apart as though something alive inside had shattered. The water calmed. The bodies of the children rose toward the surface, dissolving into moonlight. Marco fought his way upward, lungs burning, and burst through the surface with a gasp. The lake was still. For the first time in years, the silence felt warm, alive. On the shore stood the girl. Real now, no longer made of water. She looked at him and whispered, "Thank you." Then she faded like breath into the morning air. The next day, Marco returned to the village. His grandmother stared at him for a long moment, her eyes wide. "The forest let you go," she said softly. Marco said nothing. From that day on, Lake Silence no longer whispered, no longer called to strangers, no longer glimmered with unnatural light. But sometimes, when the night is quiet and the moon shines bright, ripples still tremble across the surface, as though something beneath the water is touching the lake from below. And Marco knows the shadow remains, waiting for the next person who believes in silence.